UFC Denver, we had 11 fights. Now we have 12. I'm going to be breaking down every single one of them, starting at the bottom, working my way to the top. This is going to be a nice and quick going through my betting thoughts and giving you guys all my favorite bets on this entire card. If you want a longer, more in-depth breakdown, check out my video from a couple days ago. It went about 35 minutes or so. This one I'm going to try to keep under 15. I also did a breakdown for PFL. That's going to be Friday night, so which is either tomorrow night. So check that out. There's also going to be there's a couple other smaller promotions. I'm going to try to do those videos, some breakdowns for those a little bit more often. You guys have been asking for. I'm going to try to do those more often, so check that out. But leave a like on the video. Let me know what bets you guys already have, and make sure you click the subscribe button. Helps out the channel a lot. Let's start at the bottom, man. The new fight that they just added to the card, Evan Elder taking on Darius Flowers. I don't have, anything. I don't want to put any type of money on this fight at all. Evan Elder should win the fight. He's a huge favorite. Darius Flowers, a guy who was making Michael Johnson look like a D1 wrestler. This guy said that, it is up at 170, which should suit him better. 155, I don't ever want to see him try to make that weight class again. After what he said in the Michael Johnson fight, saying he felt like he was going to die. So probably better at 170. This is a guy who's mostly a boxer, but if you go look at his boxing career, it's not pretty, man. And he's been, finished a lot. He's already starting to kind of make some excuses. I don't know how else to put it on Twitter. So I think Evan Elder's a better fighter everywhere. Unless Flowers just catches him with a big shot, Elder should have him covered everywhere. Take him down, do what he wants to do here. If he wants to keep it on the feet, I think he can outstrike him. But I'm not really trying to bet Evan Elder as like a 4-1 favorite. Probably just going to be a pass for me. Give me Evan Elder. I'll take him by TKO. We move on to the next fight, man. Josh Fremd taking on Andre Petroski. I have Fremd here. I'm going to stick with my pick, but I don't think I'm looking to bet this fight either. This is going to be pretty 50-50. I actually think Petroski's probably the more skilled guy. I just think Fremd is bigger, more durable, has a striking edge. This is high altitude for Petroski, who's already gassed a lot. His chin is, suspect right now, especially after the freak incident that was his last fight. So, it's a cage fight. I'm going to go with the guy who can take punches better. But I do think Petroski's the more skilled guy. So, if he, if his chin isn't completely shot and he can at least go 2 rounds in this altitude, he could win this fight easily. So, give me Fremd. I'm going to take him by TKO. Let's move on to the next fight. And next up, we got the biggest favorite on the card, Luana Santos taking on Maria Agapova. Santos, I think she should be a pretty sizable favorite, especially given some of the narrative going on with Agapova. Is she really training? Is she doing drugs and staying up and doing all this other crazy stuff that I don't even want to get into? Hopefully everything's, I'm glad she's getting paid. Hopefully things can get better for her. It'd be nice to see her get a win, not just because I like to root for the underdogs, unless it's going against my money. But, I just don't think, on the feet, I do think she has an edge. She's more athletic, stronger, or, more explosive, more power, quicker, better striker. Santos isn't great on the feet, but I think she should be able to take her down, submit her. I'm just probably not going to bet it. I did see Agapova plus 800 inside the distance. I don't think that's a bad bet, but probably just going to be a pass for me. I don't like a lot on these early fights. Next up, though, we got Montel Jackson taking on Damon Blackshear. I really like this fight a lot. I thought about betting Montel when he was like minus 140. But I do think, I see why. It seems like everybody's on Blackshear. He's still an underdog, but it seems like all the cappers are picking him. Everything I'm seeing on Twitter are people picking him. And I get it. But, we've seen him come in on short notice before, like this one is, like a lot of the fights on this card are. And this is high altitude. We've seen Blackshear slow down a lot. Montel's a lot to deal with, and we haven't seen anybody be able to submit him yet. So maybe Blackshear could be the one to do it. We've seen Montel give up his back to lesser grapplers than Blackshear. That would be his best path, but they're both durable. If it goes 15, it makes me think Montel should definitely win the third. And then it's like, I think he's got a good chance to win one of the first two. So I do think it goes 15. Both guys could finish, so I'm not laying like minus 190 on the over. I think Montel wins, but I think the line's about what I would put it. I'd probably put him at like minus 140, minus 150. So give me Montel Jackson by decision. And even though he could clip him, could knock him out, but I'm going to pick him by decision. And we move on to the next fight. Next up, we got Jasmine Jastovicius taking on Fatima Klein. This has kind of been like the fight everybody's back and forth, or it seems like the community's pretty split on. The line does show that too. And if you got in on big plus money on either side, then I think you did your job, because I do think it's going to be a close fight. I do think Klein is the more skilled girl everywhere, but I like Jasmine's size. I like her. She's tough. She'll come forward. She's not scared to get hit. She's got a good gas tank, solid wrestling, and I do think she's a bigger, stronger girl. She could put Klein on her back, and we've seen Klein to get some good submissions, but I haven't seen her do it to somebody like Jasmine. So, I do think Jasmine should be the favorite. I'd probably put her at like minus 125 or something like that. So there's not a lot of edge on the line, in my opinion. So I'm probably just going to lay off of it, but I do think she's a rightful winner. If you got in on underdog on either side, though, I can't blame you. I'll take Jasmine by decision. I do have the over in one of my two parlays on this card. Next up, we got Joshua Van taking on Charles Johnson. This is one of my favorite fights on the card. That Montel fight's awesome. So is this. I think this fight, both guys are super durable. Both guys slow starters, but, good gas tanks. So I don't think the high altitude will be a problem. I think this probably goes 15. Both guys, can be finishers, but, especially Van. But, at the same time, I think their durability probably will I think they'll be durable enough to go 15. I think they're probably going to strike for the most part. Maybe we see Johnson try to do a little wrestling. That'd probably be pretty smart to try to mix it up. Overall, I got a lean Van, but I think the line's a little wide. Made me think potentially playing Johnson at like plus 210, because I do think it's a close fight. And Van, I do think he's got the higher ceiling, but this could be a little too much too soon. This could be a tough matchup for him, because Johnson's you're not going to get him out of there, at least not easily. And I don't think either of these guys have been finished. Did Van get submitted in that fight where he got grappled up, or was that a decision? Yeah, he did get submitted. I think it was a rear naked choke, yeah. But, he's still durable. He just got out grappled, and, Charles Johnson could mix in a little bit of grappling here, but, I'm going to go Joshua Van by decision, but I do have that parlayed up. That's the second leg of that parlay I mentioned with Klein and Jasmine going to decision. Both are minus 275. That got me minus 116. I like that. I think that cashes. We move on, though, to the next fight. We got Cody Brundage taking on Abdul Razak Al Hassan. I don't have like a really great take on this fight. I think Abdul should be able to win. I think, his judo background, even though we haven't seen it a ton, it's not easy for guys to just throw him down. And I think, he could keep it on the feet enough to just be the better striker. I think he probably does find the chin eventually and knock Cody out, but it could go 15. I know people give Cody a lot of crap for that, rightfully so, and that DQ a little bit, but, even though it's more on the ref, but still, I think he's pretty tough, but he's not easy to finish. So, I could see him going 15, but I'm going to pick Abdul by knockout. I don't think Cody can go in there and grapple him or submit him. I don't think he'll wrestle him for 2 rounds. So, give me Abdul, but I'm not super confident. I think the line, again, is about where I'd put it, like minus 170. I think he should be, a bigger favorite than some of the ones earlier on the card. But, yeah, I am going to go like minus 170. Abdul seems about right. Next up, we got Christian Rodriguez taking on Julian Erosa. Another really good fight. Probably, with the two I mentioned before, my third most anticipated. Early on, I thought I was going to be with C-Rod. I really am a big fan of the guy, but I like the underdog shot. I took Erosa plus 200. You can get him plus 210 now. Didn't see it going up even more. And I get it, though. C-Rod, super durable. Erosa isn't. That's been the chink in his armor. You knock him out. But C-Rod, he's not really a knockout guy. Maybe Erosa's chin is that bad that C-Rod can take him out. But and I do think his cardio could give Erosa problems because Erosa, when he wins, he tends to wear on you and then you gas. I get that. I just think, this is a big size discrepancy. C-Rod, a lot of his big wins were he had 4 or 5 pound weight advantages, which isn't just about the weight. It's about you couldn't make the weight class. You couldn't even suffer like the other guy had to do. Like, I don't know. These are much bigger guys, man. Erosa's a big dude, so maybe he can grapple him up. I actually like fight goes the decision at minus 122. I think Erosa can at least go 15, and I did also take the dog shot. I am a little scared with somebody who's been finished as much as Erosa that you could lose both on the chance that C-Rod can finish him, but I honestly do think that it goes 15, and I like the numbers on both of them. So plus 210 on the bigger guy, the guy who I think can take him down. We've seen C-Rod take him down. Just typically people get tired. I think Erosa's dog enough to continue to wrestle him. And on the feet, I think as long as he doesn't get clipped and knocked out, he can hold his own. So give me Julian Erosa by decision. And we move on to the next fight. We got Gabriel Bonfim taking on Angelusa. Bonfim, the second biggest favorite on the card. I think, it's understandable. I do think he's more technical everywhere. Lusa's not very great at anything. He's solid enough everywhere, but he is tough. He's durable. I think he's kind of like a Walmart version of Dalby, no disrespect. I don't think he's quite what Dalby is. Dalby presents a lot of the same problems, but he's also just better everywhere. And I do think Bonfim gets it done. I think he could snatch the neck up, but I honestly do think, coming off a loss, coming off a time, his first loss got finished in his hometown. I think he's going to come out knowing this is another tough, durable guy. If not him, his camp would tell him, hey, slow your roll, man. 15 straight fights going inside the distance. Let's slow down a little bit. You don't want to, I get not getting away from what got you there, but let's slow down. Lusa's tough. I'm going to pick Bonfim by decision, hot take. And I bet fight goes the distance, plus 200. I think the fight goes 15. Next up, we got Drew Dober taking on John Silva. John Silva coming in off a week notice, whatever. Just fought. Yeah, I mean, Drew Dober, he's the natural lightweight. He's coming in off full camp. He was supposed to be fighting on this card. But, John Silva does have the momentum. I think somebody's probably getting knocked out. Dober's always had a crazy chin, but it did just get finally cracked. Could John Silva do the same thing? I think he definitely could. But all the intangibles are going against Silva. This is a bigger guy. John Silva just missed weight. Now he's having to cut weight again, which obviously it's 10 up, but still, clearly you're cutting a decent amount of weight. So it's still something. And who knows? Maybe the last one he suffered anyway. So the intangibles are against them here, and I'm not sleeping on Dober yet. I do think Silva's got the momentum, and Dober getting a little up there for the division, but still, I'm gonna go with Dober. I am tempted to lay some money on him, but it's tough to want to get in front of the Gene Silva momentum. But I'm gonna pick Dober. I'm gonna pick him to be the first to crack Gene Silva's chin because I do think someone's getting knocked out because I think they're gonna just brawl. Next up, we got the co-main event. We got Santiago Ponzinibbio taking on Muslim Salikov. I don't really have much to say about this fight, man. I think Santiago should be the favorite. I think he should win, but his chin has not looked great in his past couple of fights, even in the ones he's winning. Every time he gets touched, it seems to hurt him. He's had a lot of health problems outside of the cage. And Muslim, I don't believe this dude's 40. I think this guy's like 52. Looking slow. The cardio is just not what it once was. But he's still dangerous enough to clip Santiago. Another one where I think Santiago's probably about lined where he should. Right around minus 200. Is probably where I'd line it. I think he's like minus 180 somewhere. So it was almost tempting. But I'm like, not enough there. Juice for the squeeze. I'm going to pick Santiago. I think someone's probably getting clipped and knocked out. I'm going to pick Santiago by KO. And we move on to the main event, man. Main event, we got Tracy Cortez, short notice, stepping in for Macy Barber, taking on Rose Namajunas. On paper, you got to think Rose has struggled with wrestling. She's been taken down. But, she can get takedowns of her own, and we've seen Cortez taken down. This is 5 rounds. You're up, in high altitude, getting acclimated in short notice to do 5 rounds for the first time. It's a lot to ask, and Rose, on her record might not look the best, but She's fought the best girls in the division. She's won, against some, she's beat some of the best girls that have ever fought in the division. And at 115 and now 125. And, she looks like she's filling out for the weight class pretty solid. I don't think, I think they're going to size up pretty similar. So I do think, Rose has, again, some of those intangibles on her side. She fights and she trains out of Denver. She's got the full camp. She's got the experience. She's got the 5-round experience. So, it's hard to take that away, especially when your game plan is going to be out there to push to wrestling. Because that's the most tiring part of the game. So, I get anybody taking underdog shots. Rose, not somebody you want to lay as big chalk on because, you never know. She seems like mentally sometimes she doesn't always show up all the way. We've seen it before. Could Tracy take her down? I think yes. It's just I struggle to see her taking her down for 3 rounds and not gassing. So give me Rose. I'm going to take her by decision. I parlayed up this fight go into decision, so not Rose a decision, but parlayed the decision up with, because the line is just not worth it, with Leon. Spoiler alert for in a couple weeks. I'm putting a little on Leon. That gave me plus 113. So let me go through my bets one more time. We got main event goes to decision, parlayed up with Leon Edwards plus 113. We have Arosa plus 210. The Arosa fight goes to decision minus 122. Bonfim versus Lusa goes to decision plus 200. And Van versus Johnson goes to decision minus 275. Parlayed up with Jasmine versus Klein minus 275 goes to decision. That gives that parlay minus 116. Those are my 5 bets. I'm also tempted on Dober. It's like you can get slight plus money, like plus 105. Decision for Dober plus 460. If John Silva, just because the KO prop's terrible, maybe Silva's chin holds up. A Razak sub plus 2,000. Agapova inside the distance plus 800. Those are some I'm looking at but haven't played yet. But that's where I'm at so far in the card. Check out my PFL breakdown. Check out the full breakdown from a couple days ago if you want to check out. Timestamps are in there. You can see a certain fight that you want to see my full thoughts on. Other than that, man, make sure to leave a like on the video, click subscribe. Let me know in the comments your favorite bets. I will catch you guys Sunday for the recap. Let me know if there's other small shows. Some of you guys are asking for LFA as well. I might be able to do that. I'm trying to do some more of the small shows. Gives me more fun fighters to look at, and then I'm more on top of them by the time they get to the UFC. Anyways, I will catch you guys later, man. Peace.